Good evening. Welcome back to Better Together. I'm Deneen
Sierrah.
and we are better together. So today we have a great topic. We think it's a great topic anyway. We're going to talk about the five love languages. I think people have heard a lot about that. There's been lots of books out on it. And I think that when you finish today, you're going to have a better understanding on how people are trying to love you and how you love people. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get started, because we are better together, me and my daughter spend a lot of time together. So we just came back off of a amazing trip, and so we wanted to give a shout out to Barbados. I
Yes.
mean, it was everything. It really was. I mean, the culture, wonderful. The people, amazing. The
Yes. Food.
oh, the food. The food was exceptional. I
Yeah.
mean, oh my gosh. We got to see the entire island and from top to bottom, all
hmm
the way around, north, south, east, west, all the way around the island, and went to a different couple different beaches. It was just incredible. We had a great time, and
Yes.
we're looking
Yes.
forward to going back. So if you
Yeah.
haven't, if you haven't thought about where to go next for the Caribbean, Barbados.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those places where you would kind of assume there's like not as much to do, maybe, but I felt like it was like very immersive, but you also got the great service. So it was a
Yeah,
good balance
yeah,
of a place.
yeah.
Also, like shout out to Rihanna. They
Right?
don't put her there.
Putting them on the map. They love
She
her
was
there.
everywhere. She was
Yeah.
everywhere, which I appreciated.
The locals were so kind, and I really have to say that because okay, so the island is very modern. I mean,
hmm
you actually feel like you are in a regular city, so that was very good. And the locals are just they're nice, they're chill, they're kind, they're respectful, they're
Yeah.
not aggressive like some other places I'm not going to name, but
hmm
they're not like trying to take.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, Barbados. Why not?
Why not?
Anyway, so okay, so let's get back to the topic at hand tonight. Um, we're just going to talk about the five love languages. We're not going to talk about all of them. We're going to talk about a couple of them tonight, but we're just going to try to give you a feel for,
Mhm.
um, just give you some tips.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we're gonna start with have you.
So yeah, the main like a main topic to consider is like, have you ever felt loved by someone but still felt like something was missing, or have you ever been giving your all in a relationship and wondered why it wasn't being received? And I feel like we've all felt like that, whether that's with like friends, romantic partners, family. Yeah, we see that all the time. Like, people are giving gifts and someone doesn't want a gift, like things like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
Mhm.
some people love us really deeply, but they
Mhm.
aren't speaking our love language. So we don't get it. We
Yeah,
sometimes we feel like we want something different. So
100%. Um, so yeah, the love languages like concept was introduced by Dr. Gary Chapman. Shout out to
mhm.
the Chapmans.
Right?
The the idea is that people tend to give and receive love in different ways. Misunderstandings can happen when two people are speaking different emotional languages. Um, and
Yeah.
that all ties back to our communication. Uh,
Right. So yeah, I
mhm.
get that. And I guess okay, so let's just get into it. There are five love languages, and last last week I think we made some mockeries of them, but these are the real love languages. The first one is words, and not in any order, but
Wait, what was our mockery? Like last week
last
was
night he said I forgot he was talking about
oh
alcohol.
oh that's funny. I
Shout
missed.
out to Roger for giving
Yeah,
us
shout
new
out to
love
Roger. That
languages.
was funny.
So yeah, the first one is words of affirmation. Acts of
Mhm.
service is another one. Receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Those are the five love languages that Gary Chapman has identified as a basis for how people show and want to receive love. And what's interesting is that many times the way that people want to receive love is not necessarily how they give love.
hundred
Like
percent.
there's some people who give gifts, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't care much about gifts.
Yes.
And that's, I think that's where some of the confusion comes, because we think that the way people are treating us is the way they want to be treated, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't always work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of one of those things. You just got to, you really need to, which okay, to the next one, you really need to have spend some quality time to better understand what love language your partner likes to receive and gives. So
Yeah.
they kind of, the quality time one is a really a main
Or
one.
or
Go
it's
ahead.
about, I mean, it all comes back to listening. Because even if it's like you don't necessarily spend a ton of time with people, if you give someone a gift and they don't necessarily seem to have like a reaction to it, like
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, cool. But then you see you like, I don't know, you do an act of service, like you fill up their tank or something, I don't know, and then they're
Yes.
like, oh, great. You're like, you just have to like gauge people's reactions opposed to just doing something and hoping that maybe this next gift is going to be the best gift and then they're going to get a reaction. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. And also you can't take it personal.
No,
You
that's true.
don't take it personal. I mean, I feel like what we have to get to a place where when we are being our authentic self, we need to
Mm-hmm.
continue to be that person, because it's like kind of like, oh, I gave you a gift, you didn't appreciate it, so I'm not giving you any more gifts. It can't be
Mm-hmm.
like that. If I'm a gift giver, continue to give your gifts, right? But
Yeah.
then you have to temper your expectations of how they're going to receive it, because that's just not their gift. I mean, that's just not the way what they value is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just give a quick overview of words of affirmation. It's encouragement, compliments, verbal appreciation. You mean so much to me. Um, and it doesn't have to even be, it could be smile, it could be a hug. That could even be a word of affirmation, could even be a hug, even though that's a physical one, but still it makes people feel safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess a question would be, do words stick with you longer than actions? That's a question.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Hmm. I mean, I think, yeah, I think words, I think they both can make you feel a certain kind of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times people talk about words and they say, oh, you can't take them back. But I think that the right words are positive, can be have a positive effect, and then the a negative word can have a negative effect. So you got to be
Yeah.
real careful about
I
what you're
think I,
affirming.
I I really think when it's saying, when it's asking that question about, do the words stick with you longer than actions, it's because some people you could be doing all the things and then
Mhm.
but you're not saying anything. So to
Right.
me, so they need the words. Like, okay, the actions are great, but they need the words. Whereas some people, if you just give them the actions, they don't need the words.
Right.
And I think that's where you could see if your love languages is more words of affirmation. Because of course, I don't think there's any person who would be comfortable with someone they're in a relationship with, whether it's like paternal, whatever, doing literally nothing for them ever. But there are people where it's like the words are like a part of it. They need the words.
Yeah, but don't you think there's sometimes this is the way the confusion comes, where people are not doing their words are not lining up with their
Yes.
actions. And
Yes.
so, but because the words are louder than the actions, we
Mm-hmm.
get confused. He says, "Well, he
Oh
said
yeah.
he has said he loved me, but he never does anything. But he said he loved me." So the
Yeah.
words keep ringing in your ear, even though the actions are not lining up. And I think that's where the confusion comes,
And
right?
yeah, and I think some of these love languages are a little more dicey, and like, I know dangerous is a hard word. They're a little more like landminey to be your love language than others. I think if
Yeah.
words of affirmation is one, a lot of people can like manipulate and like easily say anything. I mean, you see on Love Island right now, like Sincere says anything. He says anything to anyone. So if that's what you're looking for, it's very easy to find people who will say anything to you. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a like you have to be. So if you are someone who loves words, which isn't a problem, you have to be really like dialed in and cued in to when the words actually matter versus someone just giving you lip service.
No, it's true. And I think that the question that you have to ask yourself is, are they consistent with their words, and do they tell everybody the same thing?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because what we've seen is when people aren't looking, you could have a guy one night and he could go to five different ladies and he could tell them all the exact same thing.
Yes. Especially
I mean,
nowadays
women,
with the dating apps.
yeah,
You
women
can
too.
literally
Oh yeah.
text it to
Oh my
random.
God. Yeah, the dating apps for sure. Because dating apps, I mean, you get a line and just keep pasting.
Yep. Keep pasting the same line. And a lot of people, and I think, my recommendation for dating apps is to try to disrupt people's scripts. Like if someone is try to like if someone's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Try to be like very specific, say something very like off the wall, something to try to like push the conversation in a different direction. Because when someone's like kind of like not frauding you, but like, doing their little spiel, like once you start talking about things that they weren't prepared for, they jump ship.
Yeah.
That'd be a recommendation for me, I would say, for the dating apps, because there's so many people that are on there just a script.
That's
Oh, what
good.
are you
No,
doing this weekend? How are you? Where are you from? Like you got to try to disrupt the script immediately.
no, that's good advice, Sierra, right there, because that's exactly what they do because they're already prepared. I mean, I have run into when we're just talking about dating apps, and I was just sending out my link, guys, just putting it on my page real quick. So sorry about that.
Yeah.
What I found is that I run into a lot of trolls.
Yeah.
Okay, because there are a lot of trolls on the dating apps. This is just information for you. There are a lot of trolls. And so what happens is what I found is, and a lot of these trolls, I don't know if they're foreigners, a lot of them, and they don't speak proper English. And so sometimes you might discount it and think that they're just doing typos or whatever. No, that's how they speak. And more times than not, this is for free for you guys. Share this with people. If they say that they're offshore working on a ship,
deep sea welding. Everyone's a deep sea welder.
They're in the military and they're secret. They can't tell you where they're from. End it.
Everyone's a deep sea fisherman. They're off the grid. Yeah, they're
they
secret agent.
They can't FaceTime you. They can't tell you where they are because they don't want you to hone in on where they are. So these are some good little tips for the
I remember years ago someone told me, they're like, oh, because it was a Super Bowl was happening. They're like, oh, I'm going to the Super Bowl. Like they're always saying something so crazy, and you're just like, what's wrong with you? And I hear men get a lot of trolls as well, trying to solicit.
I guess you think.
I've been told this.
They say so men too. Wow.
Yes, they're specifically getting like, but quick like transactions, like where for women the trolls are doing this longer con. For the men, it's kind of like a quick trying to like offer them like go to their Snapchat, send them money for photos, things like that. Go to their OnlyFans, like things like that. So there are solicitors.
Well, the reason why we got all a little bit off track onto this dating thing is because you need to be careful about the words of affirmation.
Yes,
you need to be careful about them because many times people know the script. I mean, we have a lot of functioning illiterates out there too.
Yes,
but we also have a lot of people who know how to play the game. So be very careful about if somebody is saying all the right things. That's a red flag.
Yes,
they don't know you.
No,
they don't know you. Oh my gosh, we have the same thing in common. One of the things that I do, I tell people this. Here's another one of my little tidbits. Whenever I meet somebody new, I ask them to send me like a song or something, because then I can tell what era they're from. I can tell some things about them based on the music that they might send to me. So that's that's one of the things that I do. But yeah, be real careful about the words of affirmation. I think words of affirmation to me is most important when you are in have like gotten into a committed relationship.
Yes.
Before you get into a committed relationship, don't worry about no words of affirmation because they don't know you. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever they're saying, it doesn't matter because they don't know you. So once you get
Mhm.
into a committed relationship, then the words of affirmation become important because they know you.
Yes.
And hopefully you vetted them enough to know that they're for you and you are for them. So yeah,
And
so
the main words of affirmation that matter the most early on are like encouragement. Like things like, "Oh, wow, you did a great job. Oh, you planned a great, date. Oh, you're going to do great at that." Like encouragement, because it doesn't necessarily give you instant like dopamine. Me encouraging someone is just me saying like, "Oh, great." They're like, "Oh,
right,
I got a new car. Oh, great. Like, good job. I got a promotion. You did great." Like things like that versus like compliments and
right.
like things like that, or like, love bombing, like over the
Yeah.
top words. So it's like encouragement is one thing, because it's like, okay, what encouragement is not going to get you anything.
Yeah, and also I think with the words of affirmation, you need to make sure that you have your eyes and your ears open as to what direction are the words going. Is
Mhm.
everything they say to you about your physical?
Yes.
If that's all, I mean, hey, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, I
Yeah.
like your shape. I mean, really, you don't like? Do you? I mean, don't stop telling me obvious things. When
Yeah.
somebody's telling you, you're so beautiful. I like, what you look like. It's like, duh.
Yeah. It's like, that's the only reason you're here.
Yeah, you tell me something. I don't tell me something that's not obvious. I don't need you to
Yes.
tell me the obvious. So just be
Hmm.
careful about that. I think it's important for us to, and this, you know what, and it's not. This is not even just about, um, partners.
Yeah.
This even about friends too, because
Yes.
you have like we watch Love Island, right? And what we have assessed is there are some people on there who they mirror everything you say. They have
Yeah.
no personal no personal information, no critical thinking, nothing from themselves. So be real careful about the Me Too folks.
Yeah, and we're gonna name her. It's Anaya. Everybody. She will say parrot anything back to you that she thinks
Parrot
you
it.
want.
That's it, Sierra, right there. She will
Anything
parrot it. That's
in the
exactly
face
right.
of all logic and reason. It's like she's not even listening to you. She's just like responding in this like hyper positive, weird way, and you're just like, this isn't productive, and that's not what a good friend does. Because she's gonna
That
have you end up the river, and then
that's exactly right. I mean, I think when you're listening, when you meet new people who may be potential friends, listen to them. Listen to,
Mhm.
are they saying every time you say something, they're saying the same thing?
Mhm.
And so you gotta be careful about that because sometimes people just want to be a pick me
Yes.
in your group or whatever. So you need to be real careful about, when you meet new friends on do they have their own point of view, right? Or are
Mhm.
they just trying to piggyback on, who you are and things?
Mhm.
So what I call them Me Too people because every time I say, oh, I did such and such, they say me too. Or
Yeah.
I say, oh, I like that. They go, me too. And so it's
Mhm.
kind of like I don't need me in right next to me.
Mhm.
So anyway, yeah. So be careful with the words of affirmation in the sense that you need to make sure that people are really being genuine and treat them with a grain of salt until you are in a committed relationship and that person's been vetted so that you know that this person is being authentic in the things that they're saying.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So the next one is quality time. Some quick examples. I mean, this one's a little more like clear and obvious. It's undivided attention, meaningful conversations, shared experiences. And notice how meaningful conversations and like words of affirmation are different. It's still you're talking to each other about something, but it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Um, an example is putting the phone away and being fully present, or and a question to consider is, do you feel closest to people when you're spending intentional time together? And
Mm-hmm.
this is a big one for me. I'm a big quality time person. And I think that part of that is that, like, I'm an introvert. I don't gain energy from being around people. So if there's someone I care for or like, I do like having that like intentional time with them.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that people get confused with quality time with activities,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
right? Is it really quality time that we're every time we go we do something we're out and about? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Got to be
I mean,
careful with that because a lot of times the events and the activities, they're all distractions
yes.
so that they don't have to engage,
Mm-hmm.
really, right?
Yes. Yes.
Somebody, all you do is go to the movies. Reason why, and okay, so somebody might say, I love going to the movies. But if all we
Mhm.
do is go to the movies, we're not having any conversations,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Like meaningful conversations are like a huge, huge piece of it. And undivided attention. Like you need like and here's the thing. Time is very precious to most people. Like people are very sensitive about their time. So this one is a little more difficult to like for someone to like fake you on. Like you can notice when you're not getting quality time. But like you said, like with the um equating quality time with just like experiences and like doing things
Mhm.
are they're two different things. Like you can do both and that is both quality time, but just being like, oh, we see each other at the run club, it's like you're not speaking.
Right.
We're on a run.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well, and I think that again, you have to know, is time an issue for people? Some people got too much time on their hands and all they want to do is spend time, be with you. They want to
yes,
be with you 24/7. They're not, what they're doing is they're sucking the life out of you
yes,
because they want to be with you all the time. So you need to be careful with the
just
whole quality
yeah,
time thing. We spend all this time, in at home, in the bedroom watching TV, whatever. I mean, just be
yeah.
careful.
This is a danger for like the scrubs. The scrubs love taking up all your time because they're so bored and they don't have nothing to do and they barely have a job. Their family doesn't like them. So they're just like, oh, I'm just going to find a woman and I'm just going to like latch on to her 24/7.
Netflix and chill for real, right?
Yes. Netflix and chill. And then they're distracting you because, I mean, it's like Love Island. When you're around somebody so often you feel like a false sense of intimacy, even if you're not saying anything. So
Right.
and that's why they say early in dating it's best to have like one date a week,
Mm-hmm.
not, you know, not these marathon dates that take up like days at a time, or you go from like one place, and there's like, let's meet up again Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, because then it just like it overwhelms your like system too early and you think you're closer to someone than you are when you
That's
don't know.
that's very good, Sierra. That's very good. Don't allow people to draw you in, because what happens is you're like, oh, they want a second date. Oh, they want to do this. They want to do that. I mean, I've been a victim.
We
I've been a
all,
victim.
all of us
I
have.
want to do this. I want to do this for you. I want to, let's do this. Let's do that. And you get all excited about, somebody wanting to do things with you or even for you, and
Yeah.
not realizing that actually you need to get to know that person
Yeah, you
first.
gotta take a step back. But
Yes.
a lot of times it's not even, and a lot of people aren't doing that from like having malintent. It's especially men. A lot of times it's literally could just be general excitement. Like they're like a puppy dog. They get like excited for like a couple weeks, and then they're like, oh, and that's what happens to women all the time. Where you're like, he was doing this, and this for like the first 3 weeks. Like he was like, see you all the time, do all this stuff, and then he wakes up in 3 weeks and is like, wait, who is this person? I don't know her. How did we get here? Why did she meet my family? Like people just get really wrapped up fast, and that's why like the pacing is important with the quality time.
Pacing.
Like you need it, but you do not need to be trying to force, because I mean, think about it. You have unlimited time to get to know this person.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a good word, Sierra. Pacing. Pace yourself. Pace yourself with the quality time. Take your time.
That's fun.
Really, you really do. You know what? You really do. Whenever you're doing interacting with people,
Mm-hmm.
you got to have some patience. You need to have some patience.
100%.
You can't get too excited too soon. because anyone can present themselves as anything.
Yes.
And then a lot of them can do it for a little while too.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful. I mean, just want you to be careful with it. But at the same time, also want you to make sure that you are getting what you need.
Yes.
If you feel good about spending time with someone, once again, for as far as I'm concerned, these five love languages is about love. It's not about dating,
Mm-hmm.
right? So be careful with that. These are things that you need to be thinking about when you are in a more I would say committed, for lack of a better word, committed
Yes.
relationship.
Yeah.
So
This is what. Yeah, you need to start thinking about it. Like maybe like 6 months in. Maybe I don't know.
I think
It all
so.
depends. But
I think it
that's
depends. I do think it depends on. She said, "Who's that?" He said, "Recognize who's inexperienced in relationships." That's so good. That's very good, Armand. Because I was just going to say, from my perspective, from where I come from, we need. It may not take. I mean, it may not take 6 months. It may not take
yeah.
6 months. But once you spend time with people and you get an idea of who they are, then you can really you people show themselves so quickly.
Yeah.
They show themselves so quickly, but what happens is we don't want to believe it.
Yes.
We do not want to believe. We're hoping that is not true, especially if they look good. They got like all you can check off some boxes. You're like, I'm a little concerned about over there, but we had fun together. I didn't have to do
Yeah.
anything. All those things. So I say this: if you have to ask the question, you probably already have the answer.
But also, yeah. But also, I mean, and this is why it's important. The pacing is important because if you spread out the time that you invest with someone and the level of investment, you don't feel as locked in once they, the switch up happens. But when you
Mhm.
do these, like, this really aggressive love bomby first month, you know, you're
Mhm.
basically living with this person. Then
Yeah.
if the switch up does happen, which could be based upon like them literally being malicious the whole time and never wanting anything and trying to play you, or
Mhm.
just like having a wake up call and realizing you're not compatible or they're not ready for something, then you feel really like bad. Versus if you didn't invest much and
Right.
you didn't overly spread your time spend your time with this person, you can just be like, oh, okay, that's just how it is.
Yeah, I
um
think so. I think what I would say is, if you really want to know if somebody's for you, say no.
yes,
See how they respond to it. Because
exactly.
many times when you say no, it knocks people off, especially
Hmm.
people who are not don't have good intentions. When you say no to them,
Hmm.
next thing they're like, "What do you mean?" Now all of a sudden they might even come after you when you say no. So
Yes.
yeah, I think that don't every offer. You don't have to accept every offer to spend quality time with somebody you're just getting to know.
Yes.
Go back to what Sierra said. Pace yourself.
Hmm.
And pace yourself and be selective too. Make sure. And another thing that we do with the quality time is we get we get caught up in doing everything they want to do,
Yes. Yeah.
everything they want to do, and then you're like, oh, they're like, oh, you want to do this, you want to do that, and then you can get caught, you can get confused, thinking that, oh my God, they've set up everything. I don't have to worry about anything. They're doing this, they're doing that, but guess what? They're doing what they're satisfying their need. Is your need
Yes.
being met?
Yeah. That's a big question. It's like, um, and you would hope typically like somebody would interview, well, like, from your in-depth conversation, meaningful conversation, they can figure out what type of activity you would be interested in or type of things you would like to do, type of restaurants, and then they can make the plan. But if
Right,
someone is just being like, oh, I like steakhouse, let me take this woman with me to steakhouse,
right,
right? That's not
right.
consideration. And that's
Yeah,
really not like quality time. That's not someone, considering you and valuing you and being like, oh, this would be a good experience for them. That's just like, I'm going to steakhouse and she can show up whether
right.
she likes it or not. Or
This
like,
you
Or like, oh, I'm just gonna take her to the sports bar and we're gonna watch football game together. Like you can do that once you're in a relationship, but if you're trying, if someone's trying to show you that they're interested in their, understanding, you as a person, then that's not anything.
It's not
That's
quality
just a
time.
buddy.
It's them bringing you along,
Yeah,
right?
it's really like low effort, like and lazy. Like anyone can do that. It's like, oh, I'm going on a walk. You want to join?
Exactly. Doing
I
well,
was
we talked
gonna,
about it before, like how some people want you to just plug
yeah,
into whatever they normally do. They just want you to plug in,
that's
and
very
if you
common.
can't plug in, you're not that girl. And now, so what we're finding is, even men and women, what we're finding is we have men and women trying to be a jack of all trades so that they can
Yeah.
satisfy anybody that comes along. Okay, so I can do this. I like playing tennis. I know all the sports, and they're trying to get they're trying to get qualified to
Mm-hmm.
be able to snap blend in with any person that they come in contact with, and that's not real. That's not you being authentic, because
No.
you know what, I want to make sure. I have a friend of mine who said that I started going to all the high end places and positioning myself, and the reality of it is, if you go to high end places, then
Yeah.
you should go to high end places. But if you're a person, you're a fish out of water going into high end places that you've never been, I mean, are you going to be happy doing
Yeah.
that forever? Is that
Yeah.
where you feel you're most comfortable? I don't know. Maybe not.
Exactly. Like, yeah, if you like those things in those places, then cool. But if you're just doing it as like performatively, it doesn't work long term.
Exactly. No,
And
it
like you said,
doesn't.
like the early stages should be like, oh, you're getting to know each other. What do they like to do? What do I like to do? What can we do together to try to like get to know each other more? Not
Yeah.
just
Yeah, because
obviously
that's what you
women.
find. Yeah, what I've seen is that one person will be pulling somebody more this way, and which is fine if you don't have anything that that you're really interested in or committed to at all. That's fine. But if you're a person that already has your your lifestyle and all those things, then
Hmm.
you're not going to be happy being pulled over there all the time.
No,
You're
no.
not going to be happy. You can say, and as a matter of fact, I was talking to my son, my 25-year-old son, and I said, do you really think that you're going to spend the rest of your life doing that? Are you going to be okay with that, in a relationship?" And it was just kind of like, what? I'm like, yeah. So what's happening right now is what's going to continue to happen. Are you okay with that? Because you have to ask yourself that question. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's when we're talking about quality time. You gotta, once again, I mean, I think that you just got to keep your ears and eyes open. We talk about, you just got to communicate what you like, what you don't like, what you're you know not what you're okay with. I'm okay with that. Not my favorite thing, but I'm okay with it. Things like that. So
Hmm.
anyway, so yeah, we're going to go on to the next one. I guess the next one is um acts of
Receiving.
service.
Oh, good one sec. Receiving
Okay.
gifts.
Oh, gifts. Wait a minute, hold on. Um, Giving gifts. That's a pretty easy one, right?
Well, no, I don't know if I don't think so. So receiving gifts is like about like it's really about thoughtfulness, symbolic reminders, and feeling remembered. Gifts, and this is why you mentioned earlier how like the love languages is about like love and not necessarily like early dating, because
Mm-hmm.
really, if someone was it's storming outside, if someone showed up early on in dating with a random gift, you'd be like, wait, there should be pause. There should be some cause for pause about like, wait, how do you know what I like? Where did you get this? Like, what's going on? I think that about flowers as well. I think flowers early on is a little bizarre, especially if you've never asked if they like flowers.
It could
And
be
you just,
allergic, right?
yeah, you could 100%. You could be allergic. You could have like, you're like, oh, I have pets at home. I don't like having flowers around. Or even like when gifts don't match up, like when gifts don't match up with like the stage you're at, I think it's really bizarre. But some people really like get
A
receiving
red
gifts.
flag. Well, I mean, I still have gifts from, like, 40 years ago, that people just showed up and gave me a gift, and I was like, yay, thank you. But what you have to do is you have to make sure that when you receive gifts, that you don't feel obligated because of it. Because when somebody's giving you a gift and they just met you, whatever, they're trying to get something, you
Yeah.
know. So usually what I do is say thanks, and I know I'm not going anywhere with you.
Yeah. Like, thank you, but
Yeah,
that's where it stays.
right. And if they want to take it back, okay, take it back. No, I'm not doing that, kind of
Hmm.
thing. So you got to stay in your ground. You can't let people bait you into they're pulling you in for their personal gain, whatever that might be. It could be anything. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, you
Hmm.
gotta be real careful about the gifts.
Yes.
And what the gifts, what is it saying? Right?
Hmm.
Is it really about the gift?
Yeah.
Thought behind it, what
Yeah.
what their intent is with the gift, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It needs to be thought. It needs to be about like something that shows that they were thinking of you, or something that you like brought up or something. An example is like someone bringing you your favorite snack because they thought of you. Like, it's a small gift. Like, that's something that's very reasonable, opposed to just like trying to like what's it called? Just trying to look good to you.
yeah, just give it
Oh,
like
look.
the generic gifts, the gifts that they think everybody like.
Yeah.
No,
That's for
I'm
them.
very,
That's not for you.
yeah, I'm very keen on when you give me a gift, it needs to have been put some thought behind it.
Yeah.
If you didn't put any thought behind that gift, then you might as well just give me a check.
Yes. Yes.
Just give me the money. No, you know what? I rejected the money several times from people. They're,
Mhm.
I'll just give you the money, and I go, really? I mean, I could certainly use the money, but the money is not going to take the place of you putting in some effort,
Yes.
right? The money's
Mhm.
not. I don't care. You're like, oh well, I gave you, I gave you $1,500. You should be happy. Well, I am happy with the $1,500, but did that take the place of you thinking of me?
Mhm.
In a meaningful way? No, not for me. I know it might be for some people because somebody say, oh, if somebody give you $1,500, that'll pay my mortgage. Well,
Yeah.
okay, it can pay your mortgage, but I don't
Mhm.
know.
And it just becomes an obligation because you get to a point where, like, if you're doing that and there's no thoughtfulness, it's just like you both sending the same $50 back and forth to each other for like years. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, we might as well just leave it in Venmo because it's just gonna go back and forth.
No, that's true. The other thing about the gift thing is, are we keeping score on the gifts? Our
Mhm.
mom, are we keeping score on the gifts? I mean,
Mm.
do I do if I buy you a $500 gift, do you need to buy me a $500 gift?
Yeah.
Are we keeping score? I don't know.
That's not how I operate, but also, like, that you don't want to get to that place. It should always be about the thought, and also, and like you said, it's like if I give someone a gift, I don't expect anything back.
Right.
Like, that's not how I'm thinking. But I do sometimes feel obligated. But also, my love language is not
Gifts.
giving gifts, and it's not receiving gifts. So I'm like, I just feel obligated when someone gives me a gift. I feel like, oh no, their birthday's coming up. Do I need to send them something? Which is why I prefer when it's like, okay, someone got me something thoughtful, because then it's like, okay, they saw something that reminded them of me, or something that I brought up before, and then they got this gift for that, opposed to them. Um, yeah,
Somebody
and
said
Amy.
they're, they're listening because they can always. Oh, she said, I'm listening because I can always remember. Absolutely. I mean, I think that's what it is. I think Better Together is really about community, and it's
Mm-hmm.
about iron sharpening iron, meaning that, and here's the thing, iron sharpening iron sharpening iron is not a smooth thing. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
a me too thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not smooth. Iron sharpening iron is, me touching on some things that make you a little bit uncomfortable, me reminding you of things that have made you uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And me learning some things that I hadn't thought about. That's
Yes.
really what iron sharpening iron is. And we're better together. It's about community. It's about, us just saying, if we can say one thing tonight that's going to help you have a better relationship, or help you to not fall in a hole, then I feel like it'd be a good night.
Oh
So
yeah.
right. Okay, Sierra, you go ahead. Do you want to go to you want to
Okay.
do acts of
Yes.
service?
Okay, yeah. So acts of service is basically just like helping, supporting, making someone's life easier. Could be like cooking dinner, running errands, helping with responsibilities. See, I love acts of service. That's my big one. I really appreciate. I think my big ones are acts of service and quality time.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Here's the thing. I think most people like acts of service, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
I think so. I
No,
think
I don't know because I know that there's some people, especially women, who are like top dog. Like they don't want
exactly
anyone trying to, intervene with what they're doing. So like they're like, oh, I'm doing this, 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 and this. I don't need that type of help. So
won't even allow you to do anything. I
no,
got it. I got
yeah,
it. I got it. We
not
said
everyone
it.
like that.
Yeah, I got it. No, I got it. No, I'm gonna do this. Or yeah, I mean, just like I said, I'm coming out of what do you call it? Lowe's, and got the cart, opening my trunk up. I feel like I've already got it. And the
Hmm.
guy's like, you need help on that? And, I said to myself, nope. But then I looked, I was like, oh, yeah, please, thank you.
Yeah.
Um, you know, appreciating when people are willing to help. It's okay to say yes.
Hmm.
We put a lot of emphasis on, people need to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
It's also okay. People need to learn how to say yes. Why
Yeah.
can't you say yes? Why can't you say yes to, you need some help?
Yeah, it's just a hyper independence thing. Like we're just super independent. And also like we don't trust that people are gonna do things right.
That's
We
true.
think that, oh, if we allow someone else to like intervene or assist or something, they're just gonna disrupt how we know how
Mm.
to do it correctly. I think that's a part with acts of service people sometimes have a difficulty with, which isn't necessarily it's not a huge problem. Like, if you don't like your partner or your friends doing acts of service, then you don't, I mean, there's so many other ways that they can show you love, like they don't need to. But
Well,
also it's things like if someone is you think about if someone's running errands all the time and then you don't care about someone doing that for you, they'd be like, I could have got a delivery service to do that. Like
right,
that's not anything to me.
right.
Then that is where the conflict could come up because be like, I'm doing all these things, and they're just like, I don't care about any of those things.
Yeah,
Anyone could do that.
I think that goes back to the gift piece where men will every Mother's Day, every birthday, they'll buy you a gift, and then you want to spend time with them,
Yes.
and they say, I'm giving her everything. They're working, whatever hours they're working, and they don't have time, but they don't have time
Mm-hmm.
because they're making all the money, so they can give you, a Birkin bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Yep.
like, she has all the bags, she has all the shoes, she
Yep.
got the jewelry. What more does she want?
Yeah.
Right? What else?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm giving her everything. And then she's saying, you know what? You can have all of that. And that's not what she doesn't say that. But in her mind, she's thinking, I would rather just have, me and you spend time together.
But that's the tough one because I mean, like once again, if someone's like working a lot or they travel a lot, like they just don't have the time.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
And
So
that's
that's
something
what
you kind of have to accept. That's something, in that dynamic, you just have to accept it. You can't really like, and then you just have to be like, think about how meaningful it is when they do carve out all this, some time for you, how much that is them really putting an effort in. I think
well,
that's
I think that I think there needs to be a trade off though. Sometimes, like a lot of times, you're like, I want this bag, I want these jewelry, I want all these things, and
mm-hmm.
so a man that it can give you all these things might not have the time,
Yes.
right? So you got to figure out what's most important thing for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
You
Because I'm
know,
like, I enjoy quality time, but I'd rather have less quality time and the man have a career and a job and a place to live. So I'll take the trade off. I'll take a little bit of a trade off versus someone who has unlimited time and then
yeah,
he's trying to like look for my wallet. So I'd rather have a little bit of that. So there's definitely a line there.
yeah, and I think I just think that you just got to be considerate,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think it need to be considerate because sometimes people are asking you to do things that it's just not you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you got so there needs to be a little bit of balance. Like if you're a person that likes acts of service,
Mm-hmm.
if you get this is what I found. If you find you a city dude, he can't do a lot of stuff. But you can get you a countryman, right?
Yeah.
Do know how to do he know how to go get the food, he know
Yeah,
how
he's
to
a
cook the food,
plumber.
you know.
Yeah.
But if you and here's the thing, you like a military guy. A lot of people they're I know I was one of those ladies. I'm like, I do not want no military guy. Like, nah, because first of all, I felt like they were players.
Yeah.
And also I felt like, they're missing. They're gonna be missing. But what I
Yeah.
found out later on is that a characteristic of most of the military guys, not all of them, they're very neat.
Mm-hmm.
I love me a neat man. Oh my goodness, a
Right.
man that you don't have to pick up after.
Yes. They have to pick
So
up
I mean,
after us. Love
so they
that.
could be. I mean, military men could really be an active service type of person. They're used to serving, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
something to look at. Don't just look at them as being players because they can be players, but every person can be a player.
Anyone.
But,
Yeah.
but that's one of the things that I did notice about most of the military people that I learned. They're usually pretty neat, pretty organized, pretty structured, pretty stable. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
most of them, not all of them, especially if they retired too. The
Mm-hmm.
retirees, those guys, get you a retiree. You want a stable man?
Um,
Yo, he said, "Great team. You want a stable man? Get you a retiree. He knows how to do laundry. He knows how to cook. He knows how to take care of himself, and so therefore he'd be a great mate to help, add value to your life. I'm
yes.
just saying, like. I know that's not everybody. I know that's not all of them, but I'm telling you, if a man can make it through to retirement
Mm-hmm.
from the military, he's
I
gonna
think
be
the same thing I've been seeing is like kind of a green flag, and it may be a little like, it depends on the type of guys you like, because like some people want like entrepreneur, like guy who's like hustling, right? He's a hustler guy, which is great because that person is like adaptable. They'll get it somehow. That type of
right.
person. But that could correlate with someone being a little less like they'll get they
Ability.
get uncomfortable when things are the same
Yeah.
for too long. Versus if
Mhm.
you get a guy who's like, oh, I've worked at the same company for 5 years.
Mhm.
That person is fine with like, stability, consistency, knowing who they're working with, knowing
Mhm.
systems, like things like that. Versus someone who's more like, no, I need to leave every 2 or 3, this, that, and the third. I found that there is definitely a correlation there. And of course, nowadays it's harder to get long-term like longevity at a certain workplace just because of how inconsistent the market is. But yeah, if you see someone or even see someone who has the same type of job for long periods of time, it's like
Right.
that's someone comfortable with like building on one thing versus like, oh, look over there, look over there. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So those are definitely character traits to consider.
Yeah,
Um,
no, absolutely.
but
I
yeah.
think, and one of the other, I think, just to go back to that, even the military thing is, what I've seen is that sometimes they have a tendency to have really the relationships are great as long as they're on the move. as long as they're going TDY or they're going to the field, it's when they have to come back together for extended periods that and they have to have like some real conversations, have a real relationship is when the challenges come. So that was
that's
just my little
that's always
caveat.
that's always the case. That's
Yeah.
always the case. Everyone loves a long distance relationship. Everyone loves it.
I think so. No, matter of fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine recently, and he just had a 9 month relationship, long distance, and he's all mad about it because he's like, well, I said, well, I asked him about the end of the relationship. I said, are you sad or are you relieved? And he said, not sad. And I said, well, not sad. He said, no. He said, yeah, I spent a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, Well, I mean, there has to be some investment
Yes, I mean
in a
that is
relationship.
what the long distance requires. It requires going to, spending money on flights to go meet each other. But then you're
Mhm.
not doing the day to day, like the every week you're going out to dinner every single night.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So when
So
he said that, I thought it was interesting because I said I love long distance because I feel like you can have your own life and then we come together at the good times. So
yes,
I,
exactly. You're not all up under somebody,
yeah,
seeing every single flaw. So I mean, yeah, people love long distance. Yeah, once you have to really like get in someone's face 24/7, that's when you see what the real deal is.
yeah, I
Um,
think so. But I do think that you need to have authentic, mature adults when you're doing a long term thing. So we
mhm.
just need to have an understanding on what we're doing and be committed to it. Otherwise, you find people having multiple lives, living multiple,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
being authentic, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think so. I think you just gotta know what your goal is from both. So.
Okay. And then the last one here is physical touch. And this is a really, really big one. I feel like physical touch is a very common love language, especially for men. And
Mhm.
it could be that that's the only one they've ever heard of. So
Yes.
maybe they're just saying what they've heard one time and they're just reiterating it. Um, or maybe that's literally all they care about. So I'm not certain.
Well, here's the thing about that. Physical touch is not just about sex.
Yes.
Okay, man. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. For the men in the back, physical touch is not just about sex. It really is about intimacy, right? And there's just
Yeah.
so much more to intimacy than just that part,
It's like,
right?
hugs, hand holding, sitting close, like just general affection. People like touch your knee. Like and I do think that like I've encountered this. Like men are very physical. Like
Mm-hmm.
when they're interested, they're trying to get closer to you. They're trying to touch you. They're like, even if it's not in a sexual weird way. But
Mm-hmm.
they 100%. Well, men think physical touch is
Sex.
sex. They do.
eye
Now,
contact eye contact is a part of physical touch as well,
there you
because
go.
if
Yeah.
you're a person, if I'm talking to you and you never look at me, matter of fact, I did go on a date
Mhm.
with somebody that I actually knew them, went on a date with them, they were talking the whole night, they never looked at me once, they
Mhm.
literally was like talking over there the whole night. I'm a person that's very attentive about things, and I thought, why is this person not looking at me? I thought I looked pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
they actually, matter of fact, even when they saw me, they're like, oh, you look great, whatever. But I'm like, okay, if I look good, you're interested in me. Why are you looking out the window while you're talking to me? And we're having
Mhm.
a conversation, but they're talking to me. And that could be a lot of reasons. I mean, obviously, it could be, they're intimidated, they don't feel comfortable. It could be a lot of things. But I will say that when somebody is physically attracted to you, they're going to make some eye contact with you.
Yes, they're going to make eye contact. They're going to be more physical. Now, not everyone is like running around hugging everyone they meet, or like, not everyone's as touchy. But I mean, we also see this on Love Island, and that's why it's like Love Island is such a good example where the guy on there is like, I'm not a touchy person. I just don't like that. And it's like, no, okay, you could not be a touchy person, meaning like, oh, his friends, he's not someone running in and hugging all his friends. Because like I'm not necessarily a touchy person. I'm not going to initiate contact with like random people I meet, because some people are just like giving people a pat on the shoulder, in want to shake hands, want to hug random people they encounter, like stuff like that. So you can get that, but he doesn't like physical touch with you. Like
There
if
you
you're
go.
dating a man and he does not want to get close to you at all, he does not like you. That is a
Yeah.
fact. You can't
Nope.
use, oh, I just don't like physical touch. I don't like hugs. It's like, because I'm the same way. It's like if I like somebody, I prefer some closeness. If I don't, you can get away from me and never speak to me. Don't look at me. Um,
Exactly.
so that's a huge thing.
It is true and it's clear. So don't even, you think you can put on a tighter dress or shorter dress. Guess what?
It
It's
don't
not
matter.
going to make a difference. If he's not
No.
physically attracted to you, you can come out there with, whatever. You can come out there with no clothes on. He might smash, but he's still not attracted
Yeah.
to you, because men will
The new word
smash.
is The new word is crack. That's what the kids are saying.
What are they calling it?
Crack.
Crack on?
No crack. Just
Oh,
that.
that's
Smash is
so,
crack.
oh, so that's crack. So
Mm-hmm.
how would you? Can you put that in a sentence for me?
Oh, we cracked.
Oh, they cracked. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So all right now, see.
What's it called? Even for women, because I've spoken to friends about this, they're like, so if I go out with someone and I'm like not really attracted to them and I don't want them to touch me, is this doomed? It's like, yes,
Yeah, yeah. It's over. It's
it's
over.
doomed.
Yeah. Don't waste your time. Do not waste your time. You are not going to grow being physically attracted to them.
You're not gonna grow from disgust. Like you can't go from complete disgust to like, oh, actually, he's like an all right guy. You can go from, oh, okay, like he's not a supermodel because no one's a supermodel.
Right.
To being like, oh man, I got to know him a little more. I feel more comfortable. I like him. You can do that, but you can't grow from like recoiling when they're trying to like, hug you to
Right.
loving your life. Like I'm so attracted to this person. That doesn't work.
Right, right,
Um,
exactly. Like,
yeah.
no, 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 no. It's so true though. Again, I think that when we're talking about relationships, there's so much information that is provided in the beginning stages that
Mhm.
you throw out the window.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I guess you shouldn't go on a date with the writing pad, but I mean, I feel like I need to. Maybe I can just record what happened
Yeah,
and
just
go back and
record them.
revisit it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much to consider and there's so many landmines to navigate. But I think the key to all this is like thinking about what makes you feel good and what actions you do that makes you feel good as well. What are
Yeah.
you doing? What are you receiving that makes you feel good and holding on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Holding on to that.
And yeah, watching people's reactions, and not only watching people's reactions to what you do, but watch their reactions to how they react to what other people do as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I give you a gift and you say, well, I'm not really into gifts or whatever, and then I see your cousin give you a gift and you get excited about it, like what? That means
Yeah,
it means I gave you the wrong gift.
wrong gift or they hate you.
Yeah, either wrong gift or you're right. They don't like you. They don't like you. Because when somebody's not attracted to you or don't like you,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you do. You can do whatever you want. You can give them your best, 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 and it's not going to be enough.
No.
So so if your efforts are not seemingly not enough for a person, that's not your person.
Yes, and this
That's
happens a
nothing
lot
to do with you.
for yes, and this happens a lot for like people who are just like good people, good natured. Like, because people are always told like, oh, that's a good guy, that's a good woman. So people like hold on to those people even though they are not. They know in their heart they are not interested. So that's and that's why good people get played all the time because they're like, well, I don't want to like. There's no reason for me to dump him. Like, he's nice. He's doing this. He's sweet. But it's just like, well, if you have no intent and you know that there's nothing coming from this, you just have to call it.
Right.
But yeah, there's a lot. And that's why if you're a good natured person, you just got to hold on to like what is making you feel good opposed to if someone like, is allowing you to be around.
Yeah, I think so. I think man, we got so close to
Yeah.
it. We're going to pick up next week, guys.
Yeah, part 2.
Yeah, we got part 2 next week, and we're going to add in the attachment styles to it so we can give you a little bit more about, just how to, just have better relationships because, we're always talking about being better together. We're talking about connection, collaboration, and communication. Let's see what our friends are saying. And there is being patient part, the being patient part, which I think is so important to watch and listen for, because I believe God instilled women for men. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No doubt. We're better together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. And behind every good man is a woman. Right?
Yeah, a better woman.
Yeah. Okay.
Michelle Obama.
Yes, we'll see you guys next week, same place, same time. Remember, we are better together.
Yes.